everybody doing? How are you doing, Campbell?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing better than good. I'm kicking butt today, man. We're going to write some seriously awesome code, I think, today. That's what my theory is, at least. I think it's going to be actually... I was thinking about this, and I was thinking, oh, this is going to be so useful, we should actually turn it into a website so other developers can make use of it. What are we going to do? We're going to work with regular expressions today. What did you say, Campbell?
Regular expressions.
Yeah, we're going to work with regular expressions, but we're going to take the regular expressions and turn them into a C# class that can then take that regular expression and break up the parts, the named parts across. So this is for working with complex regular expressions for parsing out pieces. That's what we're going to do. Anyway, I think it might be fun and useful. Let's start with a little feature we call...
What happened last time?
Switch over to your machine over there, Campbell.
Yeah.
Why don't you take over and tell us...
So last time we wrote some code in XAML and a little bit in C# as well that basically gave us this window. So in here we can put our regex pattern in. So we can do \d and that will give us a digit. So any digit it will accept. So if I do 4, it will accept it. But
Wait, what if I do like W?
If I do W, it will not accept it. But if I do W space 9, or even like if I do number, and then after it I put a digit, as long as there's a digit in here,
yeah,
it will work.
Can I do something over there?
Yeah.
Go ahead and do, I like that number 4 that you had example there. Let's do this. Let's put it back in there. Number 4, like that. Then I want to come up here and I want to put parens around this. And that makes a group, right? Now I want to make it a named group. Do you remember what the syntax is for named groups? I'm thinking, is it even maybe down here somewhere in the back here? We have an example of it.
Wait, yes, it was a question mark, right?
Right, it's a question mark. Slash question mark, I think. Is that right? And then
\/
the name?
question mark, you think it is?
Or is it just question mark? Like that? Unrecognized grouping construct. Maybe it's \/ name, like that. I'm not remembering anymore. Let's pop our pattern in. Oh, it's in brackets. Okay, that's what it was right there. Okay, so let's do that again. So we're going to do this. We're going to do, is it question mark bracket, the name?
Yes.
And then the number. Like that. Is that what it is?
\d. It's \d. Oops.
Ah, look, and look what happens down here at the bottom.
Woo!
Name is equal to 4. Right there. It puts that in there.
And we can change this to 49. So if we add this symbol right here,
yeah.
The asterisk.
Oh. Look who's here. It's Coding Gorilla, Campbell. That's some good code. The code's golden. Solid gold code.
Hello, Coding Gorilla.
Coding Gorilla says enters the chat room with more regex.
So this asterisk means that we can have 0 or more digits. Oh wait,
maybe one or more.
One or more. So 1 or more is that, right?
Yeah, I think that's right.
And 0 or 1, confusingly enough, is also a question.
That's right. Confusingly enough, regex patterns are confusing, aren't they?
Yeah.
So
now we can do 98 or 984 or anything, and it will count. But if I have no digits here, it doesn't work.
Gotcha.
And also, one of the things we learned is if I put this right here, it means that after we put this, it will end. The line will end.
So it has to be, the match has to be at the very end of the line.
Yes. So if I do 65, for example, and then after I put even just a space, it will not work.
What if I wanted to do this? What if I wanted to match a phone number? Find a phone number in a string. So I'm going to call this phone number like this. Number. And
Well-
can you give me something that matches like a phone number either in Costa Rica or in the States, like either 3 digits followed by a dash and then 4? Or
Yes. Do you want me to include the, you know how in all U.S. phone numbers there's 310?
no, just
No?
do those.
Okay.
Just make it simple. Like
Alright.
a 3-digit followed by a 4, or a 4-digit followed by a dash and then a 4, something like that.
Yes. Okay.
Good job taking that off. Okay, cool. There's 3.
Dash. Right?
Yep, that's one way to do it.
So now it will take, actually, it won't take this. We have to have the dash.
And it found a phone number. Sweet.
Should we make the dash optional, is my question.
A dash or a space,
Yeah.
right? You could do that this way. You could do this. You could put this means or.
Oh.
And /s means a space. I don't know if I can do it as that or not. Let me try that.
I don't think
with
you
a space.
can.
Let's see if that sees it as a space. It
Oh,
does.
it does.
Cool. So that means this or that. Let me show you something else you can do. I think you know this, but what happens if I use these curly braces here and I do that? What's happening?
Oh, it's saying 3 digits.
Right, exactly. And now I found the phone number again.
Yeah.
Cool?
Cool.
Okay.
Cool.
What I want to do, now we specifically built this for our vector visualization app that we're building in Unity.
And last time we found a good regex pattern to return a vector. So we basically put it in pattern, and then it has a drop-down menu. And we can just click on that, and it will give us this pattern. So it won't accept this, but it will accept 3 comma space.
Welcome to everyone's favorite section on KidzCode, to pudding, po, to put po. It's too early for pudding. I am like intermittently fasting now, by the way, kids. I've like decided upon doing this yesterday, and it's not bad. So basically, my understanding of intermittent fasting, which comes from my wife, a discussion with my wife yesterday for about a minute, is if you can get all your eating in a day into an 8-hour window, and for the other 16 hours a day you don't eat, that essentially qualifies. And I'm like, I could eat 3 meals a day in 8 hours. I could do it. So that's what I'm trying to do, and we'll see how that works. So I'm waiting until 12 after the show, our time, and then I'm gonna go eat. Oh, Kevin, what do you think about intermittent fasting? You kind of do that. You don't really eat breakfast, it seems.
No, I don't really eat breakfast because often it's just I'm not really always hungry in the morning.
Yeah,
But yeah, when I get to dinner, I love dinner. Dinner and lunch are my favorite. I never really need breakfast.
Okay. Well, there you go. You've heard it.
So this regex pattern will accept this. It will accept this. It will also accept. Oh, oops, not that. This, and it will accept that. Also, oops, that.
So it finds.
And it will also accept,
Yeah, go ahead.
I think, that. Oh, it doesn't accept. No, that makes no sense for it to accept. But it accepts that, and it also accepts just that. It doesn't.
We can make it do that if you want. We're looking specifically for the commas. We built that so it would. There's another one it accepts too. That is, if you put at the very beginning of that, if you say A equals that, it'll accept that as a pattern too. Where it gives all of these pieces out. It parses them all out. You can see what's going on here. Vector name, X, Y, Z, that sort of thing. All right, that's a pretty good review. What we want to build today is something that takes this pattern. I want to add a button on here that says generate code.
Okay.
And when I hit that, or maybe just have another window where it's just always generating the code. So we'll put these side by side. We'll stick this off to the left and off to the right. We'll put our generated code. And I wanted to build something that's essentially, you know, we talked about this before. We were talking about, on the previous episode of KidzCode, we were talking about static classes. And we said, you know, static class or class declaration, a class is like a cookie cutter, like this.
Yeah.
And we said an instance is like a cookie. Well, I want to create a class dedicated to this function, whatever function we have in here, that has properties for all the named groups. You got it? You with me?
Yeah.
So I want to create and I want to give it a method that takes the string we pass in, which is something like this, and then it just fills itself out and returns an instance of itself. So I'm going to call on the class, I'm going to call a method called create cookie or something.
There's also another thing that this accepts, which is so if we just take this and we get rid of it, it will accept that.
Yes.
Because, and so in this scenario, it just assumes, I guess, that X, Y, and Z are all 0, but the delta X, delta Y, and delta Z are 2, 2, and 2.
We actually built that assumption into the regular express pattern up above.
Oopsies.
We did. Did you close? No, it's still running. Just I'll tab over to it and we'll get back to it. There you go. So yeah, that was pretty cool. So already as it is, it's a pretty good, cool tool. It's missing, in order to be super cool, it might, you know, we might have more patterns we add here in the menu and might have the ability to add your own custom patterns. Like you build something here and then you add it so it always remembers that. We might add that in the future, but I was thinking the core essence, the functionality is good, and I was thinking this might be good to stick on a website. So we want to learn about website programming, which is something that, you know, I'm not, you know, an expert in at all by any stretch of imagination. We can do that and learn about it and create a website where people can go enter the regex pattern, enter their text to text, their text to test, get back the results interactively, and when they're finally done, generate some code. The other thing we can do too, we didn't show this, but we can take in, you know,
oh yeah,
other numbers like this. So we're pretty robust in terms of, I think we can even put a plus here and get it, so we get that plus back. Right, so we can do, after a fair amount of exploring, we got like the perfect regex pattern. Next, now we need to write the code. And I thought, well, instead of writing the code for it, let's create the program that writes it for us because that's so much easier.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I'm thinking on this. Just so FYI, to show these, right, they're actually, when you do this regex, remember when we first did this, Campbell? This thing was loaded with all the responses?
Yeah.
Right? We cleaned those out. Basically, I said, look, I only want to show named
properties.
Groups. Yeah. So a group is going to have parens around it, and at the beginning, it's going to have this syntax in regex. And I can change this to whatever I want to call this, right? And it just, you know, changes it over there. So vector name, whatever that's going to be. So I'm going to have named pieces here. That's going to be part of the code generation. So same thing. Code generation is going to look only for named groups that come back, and it's going to generate for you. So let's start this. In fact, we can keep this running. There's something called edit and continue, or XAML hot reload, rather, and we can make changes to the XAML while the app is running and see those changes. So I want to go down to that piece right there where we're showing the group results, and I want to put another text box right near it. So I'm going to type in TBX there, hit space, and we're going to call this TBX code gen, is what I'm going to call it. And maybe I'll just, I'll put this, something like this. This is class, you know, goes here. My class, name, something like that, just to see it. And let's see what that looks like. There you can see the code right down there at the bottom.
Yeah.
Okay, I can't really get it side by side because to do that I've got to delete this, and I think it's a little, I'm not sure if I can wrap a panel around it. Can I do this?
Yeah.
I can put a dock panel around it and then maybe change that to a stack panel. That's really what I want it to be. And now let's see if XAML hot reload is still good or not. Yeah, it's, I think there may be a problem with it. We lost, even though it kept all the pieces, we lost the functionality.
Yeah.
Because I took it, I cut it, and then pasted it in, or wrapped around. So we lost that, so that sometimes happens. That's not too much to worry about right now. We'll fix that. We'll take the results. What's going on here? The margin, the padding. This margin, I'm going to move up to the stack panel, because I think that more made sense there. And then I'm going to add a margin here. And it's going to go like 20 on the left and 0 everywhere else, right there. And so now you can see there it is. So this is our results panel. This is our code generation panel, right there.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to make that be empty for now. And I think what I'm going to do is let's go look at the code where we're getting the results of this, right? Right in here. So there, I'm looking to where here it is, right here. This is called check for match. If we find a match, then we do something here. And this is where we fill out the group results right here. So what I'm going to do is, here we're just, setting the blue check visibility and the red X visibility, right? Here's where we get the actual match on it. Then we set the text to empty, but then we see if we can fill it out. So we kind of clear that group results here with this line, and then we add to it as we iterate through all the matches, checking to see is the group name a number. If it is, the default remember for a group, if we don't give it a name, is that it's a number.
Yeah.
Are you following that? Let's do this. Let's comment out this line of code and run it again just to show you. Okay? Comment. So we're going to take this out right here. We'll run it, and you can see what I mean by this, just to refresh your memory on this. So we'll come in here, and we'll bring in our vector long pattern. And we'll say 1, 2, 3, like that. And this is what I mean. See all of these groups?
Yes.
We've got a group 12, 13, 15, 16, 18, whatever. All of those other groups are still in there. That's probably because I'm checking to see if the group has no value, then I continue. But if I were to take this out as well, right, and we rerun it, right, our filtering goes away. We come back into our vector long, type again 1, 2, 3, and now you see all of this mess in here. Doesn't even fit all on screen with the font we've chosen. Okay? See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I can start typing more stuff in, and I can do, make it a full-on, syntax 2, 2, and there you start to see everything that's going on. And it's missing. Is it missing because I don't have parens in here? I'm not sure what those pieces are. But it's much harder to work with right now with all the groups.
Much harder.
We want to make it easier to work with. So we want to take this filtering that we have built in here, right? And we want to do something with it, right? I want to do one more thing. And let's go look at this. Group has no value. Group has no value is down here. It's calling the value right here. I want to do this. I want to work with, let me give you an idea of what I'm talking about here. So if I say I want to match a number, let's go get this regex vector long in here. Let's get only one of our numbers in here. I'm going to grab X. So we go from here to here, find the end of X, which I think is there.
Not enough commas.
Not enough parens.
Or parens, sorry, oops.
We need another one. Another one? Wow, I need way more than I thought I needed. So,
yeah, because, wait, can I show,
hold on, I think I forgot something then. Oh yeah, there's the comma right there.
Yeah, because there's this starting paren,
Yep.
which ends with this paren, and then there are these two parens, which end with these two parens.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
but then there's one extra paren.
No, I think there's, if I count, here's how I do it. I do this. Every time I see an open, I count up, and every time I see it close, I count down.
I
So
did
go
not see this
1,
paren.
Do you hear what I said? Every time I
Yes.
see it open, I count up, and every time I see it close, I count down. So I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. And I should end at 0. All right, so now that I have this, 3.1, I forget what I was going to get out and do here. What was I thinking about? Oh, I know. So at this point, I could specify for x that it's a float, right?
Yeah.
Or a double in this case, right? It's kind of a double, is what this is. There's
It
no
can also
way.
be a decimal, though.
Yeah, it could be a decimal, a double, that sort of thing. It could also be like an int. If it looks like that, we could guess that it's an int. And if I put in or a word with one or more characters, then I could now match hello, and that might be a string.
Yes.
In terms of code generation, in other words, if I want to get the data, if I want to work with hello and find it, I just found it there. By the way, let's give this a name too. Let's come in here like this and give it a name. It's question mark, angle brackets, and then the word like this. So if I want to do this, right, if I want to generate code and have a property called word, the question is, what type is this going to be, Campbell? Is it going to be an int? Is it going to be a double? Is it going to be a string?
A string.
It's going to be a string. We know because my test sample is the word hello, right? I'm matching it. But what about if I match the first one? Is that going to be a string? It could be. We could do it as a string, but would it be more useful to recognize that that's a number?
Yes, it would. Much more.
And then turn it into a double, for example, or a float.
Yeah.
Are you with me?
Yes.
Okay, what I want to do now is I want to write something that figures out what this type is. That's what I want to do. And then puts it right at the end of this. So right here where we add the text, I want to figure out the type. So I'll put that out as a string. I'm going to create a new string here called type, like this, and I'm going to set it equal to nothing. And then at the end, over here, before my new line, I'm gonna just throw out my type, like that. That's the only change I'm making. Nothing really is going on yet because I'm setting it to nothing. Also, see the green underlines? It means the program's running, and I haven't actually stopped it to use edit and continue. If I really wanted this to kick in, I would have to set a breakpoint, come in here and make a change. Now that the breakpoint's here, clear my breakpoint and run, and now the green curly braces go away. Okay? So now we're setting it, but we're not really putting anything out there. What if I were to change this to just say, let's just say string for now. Okay? Set another breakpoint.
Wouldn't
Right.
it be an interpolated string with the curly brackets, or no?
Not in this case. I just want to put it out here so that we can see what's going on. Let's come in here, use our vector long again here. Let's do this, comma 3, comma 4, and now you can see it says string, string, string. But I want this to say float.
Wait, that's not float. That's double, right?
Or double. Yeah, I want it to say double.
Because that's
Too many.
6.
Too much precision?
Yeah.
No. It's actually not the. So this is really interesting. Great conclusion. But it's incorrect. When we said that there were this many bytes to represent the accuracy of a float or a double or a decimal,
Yeah?
it does not mean decimal points. It actually, you can represent many more decimal points with accuracy using only 4 bytes. And I'll explain that to you maybe on another show, is what I'll do.
Wait.
You can, and the reason why is because each byte has 8 bits in it. 8 little things that can hold essentially a value, right? If I let's look at this. Using my fingers,
So
I
a
can
decimal can hold...
way more than 16
Whoa.
digits of precision, even though a decimal uses 16 bytes. Let me show you. Look at my hand. With my hand, I can count to 5 with 1 digit of precision, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or if I'm in Europe, I can count this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? But I can also count to 32 with my hand. Watch this. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I'm halfway there.
And you could just do the same
17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. So including 0, I've got 32 bits of precision with 5. I can say 32 numbers, right? With 5. That's a preview of what's really happening under the scenes with decimal and with double. So it's not the number of digits they can support. They can actually support many more, but at some point we have problems. I think float, I'm guessing, has like about 9 digits of precision, decimal places of precision, but I don't know. We can do a search for that and find out. I guess we might as well do that since we're talking about it. Let's do this right here. Decimal points, C#. Switch over to my machine, would you, Campbell? Decimal points, precision.
Float.
And I'll put in float, double, and decimal. And we'll see what the answer is here. Well, I'm not seeing a clear answer on here yet. Precision, there you go. Float gives you 6 to 9 digits using 4 bytes. A double gives you 15 to 17 digits of precision. So when we had problems with precision, when we were filling up the sphere with cylinders, it was because we needed precision greater than 6 to 9 digits. We switched to double and the problem went away.
Wait, so with 1 byte, couldn't you hold, how much information does 1 byte hold?
Here's how you figure it out. You take 2, since a byte has bits in it, and a bit can be in one of 2 spaces, right? 0 or 1.
Yeah.
You take 2, then you say YX, and then you say number of bits. If a byte has 8 bits, then you throw the number 8 there.
Wait, so do all bytes have 8 bits?
Yes. All bytes have 8 bits. Okay?
So if in 1 byte there are 256 digits, then why are there only 6 to 9 in 4 bytes?
Well, 1 byte 256 gives you at least 2, it would seem to me it gives you at least 2 digits of precision.
Why? But it's 256.
256 contains the number 100, which is which is like, actually I don't know the answer. I was speculating and I'm now backing away from my speculation. I don't know. But I do know that you're right, it feels like it should be more. Why isn't it more? I don't have a good answer for you right now. But it looks like right from here you're getting about double minus a little bit of precision for the number of bytes. For each byte, you get about 2 digits precision. Also remember, and this is part of my speculation, but remember, we're not just holding the number, but we're talking about mathematical operations on the number. So when I want to get precision, I have to go, like on multiplication, I want to know, I need to round up to get my round at some point to get precision at the next, higher bit to the left or the higher digit to the left. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I think that's part of what's going on. There are multiple operations going on, and I think that's why you have a variance in precision here. Does that make sense?
Yes.
A little bit? So that's about all I know on that. Remember when I counted to 31? What do you think 2YX5 for 5 fingers is going to equal?
32.
It's exactly 32. So if I have 10 fingers, how high can I count with 10 fingers? Hold on, let me clear it. You can tell me the equation if you want.
Well, it's 2 to the power of 10, right?
Yeah, 2YX10. So with 10 fingers you could count to... Whoops.
Nope, that's...
I did not
wrong.
clear everything out there. Try one more time. 2YX10.
Wait.
And you count to about 1,024.
Ah.
So these numbers in programming show up a lot, like 32.
But wait, what was the system behind the using 5 fingers to count to 32.
Oh, I was counting in binary. It's a number system that's different from...
I know what binary is, but how were you counting in binary?
That's a deeper answer, I think, for another show. But the essence of it is here. I'll show it to you here, and I'll bring it up in here. We'll create a new page and we'll look at this. This is vector math we were looking at. Actually, you know what? Let's do it in the KidzCode piece over here. So we'll talk about binary for a second. Binary, and let's create. Should I create a table? Maybe. Or should I just count? Oh, I think I'm going to do a table. All right, so we're throwing in a table here. Binary, and over here we're going to say decimal. And before I get into this, let's go on to it. Let's talk about how we count normally. Right? We normally count in a system called decimal. It's also known as base
10.
10.
Because we have 10 fingers.
And so let's look at this. How do we count? Well, how do we start? We start with 0.
Then
we go to 1,
1,
2,
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
And I'm just going to dot, and then we get to 9. Yeah. And that's pretty cool. We can count to 9 with 1 digit. Exciting? It's not bad, huh? I could eat pizza just over that invention right there. But what if we want to go to 10? What do we do?
Well, then we add 1 into 0.
Yeah, we kind of put a
Or
1
not add
at
them,
the
sorry.
beginning.
Yes.
Let's do one other thing. I want to just justify this so it kind of looks more like what we're expecting. Right? So decimal base 10 goes like that. And then our convention to indicate the next number up is to do what? What are we doing? How would you explain this to a baby? What would you say? You kind of said it already.
We add 1 and 0.
Yeah, so it's not, we're not really using the add, but we're putting a 1 over here, and then we're starting back over at 0.
Uh-huh.
And then we come down, the next one is 1,
1, 1, 1, 2.
2. And
1,
notice
3.
the pattern like from here to here is essentially the same from here to here.
Pretty much, just with a 1 before it. And then we go to a 2 before it, a 3 before it, and then 10 digits in the 10 digits basically later. Not 10 digits, I guess. Or kind of 10 digits. Because if we go from the 1 at the beginning to 2, to 3, to 4, to 5, to 6, to 7, to 8, to 9. And then, once we get to 10, we can't, we basically kind of just put a 10 before it. More or less.
You talking about here?
Yeah. We put 100. We add another 1, I guess. Not
All right,
really.
let's go talk about that. We'll talk about that one too. So we've got up here, we're at 89, and then we go to 90, and then we're going to go 91, 92, 99, and then what happens here when we get to 99?
We add another 1 before 0, 0.
Right.
And we really do start at 0, 0, not just 0, and then go to 0, 1, 0, 2. But we don't ever really put the zeros in because they have no use, really, unless you're...
You talking about the zeros, the leading zeros?
Yes.
Sure. Yeah, we're trunking
And then
the leading zeros.
There are also infinite, maybe not infinite, but a bunch of zeros before every number.
Sure.
Because we're going up every time.
I'm going to say there's infinite. All right, so my question to you is, why did we change here? Why did we change it to number 9 and not like the number 7 or 8? That's an interesting question.
Because we only have 10 fingers.
Well, because we're counting in
base 10.
What if we had 11 fingers?
Well,
Do you think
probably
we would count in base 11?
Base 11, yeah.
We probably would.
And then we'd have another number. We wouldn't just go to 10. We wouldn't just go from 0 to 10.
Yes.
Well, it might be similar, but we wouldn't have 2 digits right
next
to
like
each
that.
other.
It might look like some crazy thing we've never seen before. Right, exactly. So that's decimal base 10. All right, let's duplicate this. And let's look at...
binary is base 2, right?
Yeah, so let's look at how binary base 2 works. Base 2, well, we changed in base 10, we changed at the number 9.
Yes, but here we change at the number 1, right?
Right, exactly. So it's going to look like this. And then it's going to go to 1, 1.
And then it's going to go 0, 1, right? Wait. No.
This is really
Oh,
similar
wait, would
to
it go
this.
to 1, it would go to 100, right?
Yes.
And then it would go to 101?
Yeah.
And then it would go to 111?
Nope.
What, sorry. Wait, 110.
Perfect.
And then it would go to 111.
Congratulations. You just counted to 7. You just counted 7 in binary. Good job. That's awesome.
But how do you count with it on your fingers? Is my question.
If it's a 1, my finger's up. If it's a 0, my finger's down. So this is 0, 1,
Oh, so
2, 3. See it?
yes.
And what I'm doing is I'm working my way all the way over. The most important, the biggest digit is here, my pinky, and the smallest digit is my thumb.
And then you work your way back, right?
Yep. And that's all I'm doing. I'm just repeating this pattern all the way. Once I get all 3 fingers filled up, I know I'm on to my next one, so I lift the next finger up.
And
Right?
put
Like
all
that.
of them down.
Yeah, and I
And
put
then
the
you
others
do-
down, and then I repeat the pattern.
Yeah.
Right? Like this, going all the way through.
Boom.
Okay? Got it?
Yeah.
That was like totally off track. But,
Sorry.
But we did it. All right, cool. Unless you're on ARM, then the most significant digit is your thumb. I know. Maybe I got that wrong, completely backwards. That's coding gorilla out there. All right, so back over to your machine, Campbell. What I want to do is I want to figure out I want to get smarter about this. I don't want this to all say string for each of these. I want this to figure out what that is. I just realized we've been going this whole time without any Coder's music. We'll get that Coder's music in here. So I want to figure out that type. And I want to do it because for my code generator, I just don't want to return a bunch of strings. I want to actually return something called delta x. That's a number. It's like a double or something like that. You with me?
Yes.
Okay, so let's do that right now. What I want to do is be smart about figuring out the types. And so I think what I want is a function to do this because I want my code to look clean, right? So I'm going to call this get type like this. Get type string, maybe something like that. Get type string. Fine, I'll do that. And I'll pass in just as we were doing before, I'll pass in the match and the I, like that. We're going to declare this like that. And for right now, we could just simply say, let's return it. And everything should still be exactly the same.
Yes.
Right? We can give it a quick run if we wanted to do that. Bring in our pattern, come in here, say 1, come 2, come 3, and there, nothing's changed. Right? Got me, it still says string on all this. Next one I want to do is I want to say, well, let's see if we can work with that value. So the way we were working with, when we passed these in before, we were looking at the groups and we were calling a property called value. Right there. That's what we're doing. That value is coming back. That is, if I drill into that with F12, it's a string. See that right there? By the way, whenever I drill in, even though that's not our code, it's code that's essentially disassembled for you, and it tells you
It's running behind the scenes.
Yeah, exactly. It's in another assembly. So we're just going to take that. We're going to use that right there and copy that. I'm going to jump back up to get type string, and I'm going to say I'm going to do something like this. I'm going to say if ti, like an integer, dot try parse, I'm going to say, hey, if we can parse this into like a result right here, and this is an out parameter. We talked about out parameters a little bit. Do you remember what they are, Kimmel?
Out parameters? Yeah, it's when normally parameters they're coming into the code and then you're changing them in that method right there.
Yes.
For just that method. But out parameters, they change it for the whole code, right?
Right. Well, they change it outside of that, right? It's like exactly. So if you have if you pass something in, you don't really, generally nothing really happens to it after you pass it in.
Yes.
But if I make a call to it, passing in a variable, and I can like declare it like this as an int, like that, it will then give me result as the parse value. That's what out parameter will do. There's also something a little crazy in here, but I can specify this as just an indicator as a variable name of something I'm not going to use. I'm just throwing it away. But here's the cool thing. The cool thing is at this point, if try parse on int, right? This is a static method on a class called int, right? I have no instance of int. It's a static method, remember? We
Yeah.
could do that, right? If try parse returns true, then I know it's an integer. So now I can say return my type is int. Okay? Down
Yeah.
here, I can just replace one word with double, right there. And now I'm trying to parse it as a double. If that works, well, I need to change this down here to double as well.
Yeah.
Okay? So if that works, then I know the type is a double. And if both of those fail, I'm going to call it a string. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, let's do this. There's a refactoring built into Visual Studio called introduce local, and I'm going to do it for all occurrences.
What if it's like a float?
Well, that's the thing. It's basically once we get to decimal points, we're either dealing with a double or a float, so we kind of have to make a decision. Now, since we're going to use this with Unity, we could favor floats.
Because Unity favors.
Right, but because doubles are more precise, I'm leaning towards doing that. Leaning towards doubles. Also, because we saw in Unity that with floats we did have problems that changing to doubles did solve. So, okay, look at that. I just dropped a. I'm thinking of a plan to drop things. Okay, hopefully Surly Devil stopped by. His synchronized formation drones shows.
So that you can use the drone with the ball on top of one of the drones?
They're getting really good. Let's run this and see what happens, okay? Let's run it. All right, so now we're gonna bring back this. Come in here, 1, 2, 3. Now let's make it 3.0. Look what it's doing. See it?
Yeah.
A equals. Now we're getting closer to what we need for a code generator.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because now we are getting the types, and we're getting the types not from the regex pattern, but from the sample data we're putting in. So if we want to generate this to work with all like doubles, for example, we can do this and pop that in. Like that.
Yes.
We can also have a checkbox on here that said promote integers to doubles. So in case I just wanted to type in 1, 2, 3, I could just go with doubles instead for all the types. Okay?
Yeah.
We still don't have any code generated over here yet. Let's maybe start working on that. The other thing, actually, I think I want to do on this is we're going to need, right now, we've got this showing up for display purposes. What I really want to do is I want to create an enum here called, like, maybe property type. And I want to just come in here and I want to say int is one of my options here as the type. I'll use maybe uppercase letters here. Double will be one of my options, and string will be one of my options like that. Will that all compile and work as I'm using? I think that's okay. It looks like it'll work. And then what I want to do is I want to say, I want to have a method here that says property type. That returns back property type. This equals, and I'm going to call it get property type here. And I'm going to pass in value. And what it's going to do is kind of do this. Code that. That's what it's going to do. Let's declare this. And so we're parsing it. We're doing this right here. But here, instead of this, we're going to return property type dot int. See it? Can you finish those other two changes in here for me?
So
you've got strings we need to change them to, we need to change that to something else.
and then
Perfect. Perfect. All right, we've got that, get property type. Now what I'm going to do is take this, copy this clipboard, type in once you do this, type in SW and then space. Because type is on the clipboard, Coders will build you a switch statement with all the pieces inside of it, like that. And now the switch statement is like a kind of a very sophisticated if else statement. Have you seen the switch statement before, Campbell?
No, I have not. I don't think so.
All right, so basically it's saying, hey, if type is int, do this code. If type is double,
do this.
and if type is string, do that.
this.
So what we're going to do is we're going to come here and we're going to say, well, let's return int here. Let's return double. Right there. We don't need to break if we're returning. Straight out from it and down. And instead of saying property type string, I'm just going to leave that empty and have it be down here where we return. So we've now changed the method get type string to use a switch statement to use this other call. The reason why is because I know I'm going to need to figure out that type for our code generator. And I want to be able to call it separately. Okay? And get it not as a string, but as an enum. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
The enum right there, int double. Let's run it, just make sure everything's still working exactly like we're expecting it to work. Come back here in pattern, vector long, a equals 1, 2, 3, and then it changes to 1.1 and -2. Still thinking, see, notice -2 is still an int until I put a decimal place on it, right? Like that. And 3. Okay?
Yes.
So now it's going to create a class with 4 properties: vector name, delta x, delta y, and delta z. Vector name will be of type string, and the other 3 will be of type double. Are you with me so far?
Yes, I'm with you.
Okay, let's copy this clipboard for a second and let's write the actual code inside Visual Studio to see what that code's going to look like because we're going to need to generate it. Are you with me there?
Yes.
We're going to have to write it once first, but then our generator is going to be able to kick butt for us and do it all the times after that. So what I think I'm going to do, let's close this. We'll stop our running program. I'm going to create a new class here. And it's just kind of a temporary class. So we'll say new item. Well, I should say class. There was an option down below to say class. That's okay. Choose a class. And I'm just going to call this delete this class, I guess is what I'll call it. For research only. Are you with me?
Yes, I'm with you. I got it.
And then inside of there, look at the name. Every space, it changed it to an underscore because we can't have spaces in names. Inside here, I'm going to create a comment and I'm going to put this, just paste this in. So we have this as a reference. Okay? And I'm actually going to delete the class now that I think about it. We're going to create our own class in here. Okay? To create a new class, Campbell, I'll let you do this work. It's just the letter C in the space. Create a new class.
In space.
And call this class. What would be the class of this? What would be the name of this class? Well, I guess the user would have to specify it. Right? We'd have to give them a box to specify the name.
Yeah.
We're going to just call it RegEx. Let's call it like RegEx result. For now. Okay? Hit enter.
Oops. Okay. Oopsies.
No worries. Alright, so we've got a class called RegEx-Result. We need to start declaring these things. So we need something called like vector name. So we're going to come up here and we're going to create a new auto-implemented property. So type in A for auto-implemented property, and then we need to be a type string. So type in S for string. And then space, and then paste vector name, which I think is on the clipboard. Good. Hit enter. Go down the next line, type in A for auto-implemented property, and then we want it to be of type double. So on an empty line, what do you think you type in to be an auto-implemented property of type double? Yeah.
Okay.
There you go. Call this delta x.
Delta X.
Got a slash in there. And now hit shift enter to duplicate this line.
Oops. Shift enter. And then okay. And then delta Y.
Yeah, and then delta Z.
Oops. And now it should, if I just shift enter, it should get delta Z. Why is it not working?
You're not hitting shift?
No, I am hitting
Try
shift.
it.
Every time I'm hitting shift.
Let me try it.
Is it because I'm not in the line enough?
Try again. It should work for me. Try hitting shift again. Shift enter. It should happen anywhere.
Shift enter.
Let me try it. Right
Is
where
my
you were.
shift key not?
Oh, you're right. From here it doesn't work.
That's weird.
From there it doesn't work. Interesting. It's not sure what to do in here. That's kind of an interesting issue. Let me report that. We're Dog Food and Coderage Kids, and we're reporting issues live here to the dev team. So take a look at this, kid. If I'm here, Shift Enter works. If I'm here, Shift Enter does not work. Does not work. Does not work. I think anywhere inside here it does not work. There it works. So anywhere inside here to here, Shift Enter does not work. That is the bug. Give me a second, Campbell. Or you can do whatever you want to do on that. I'm going to report this bug. Give me a second to report that. Hold on. Let's do this in Notepad. I didn't get something up. I'm not going to turn my quotes into. We'll switch back over to my machine so you can see what I'm doing here. We're going to say SDS or SDL for Smart Deployment Line fails inside auto implemented property getters and setters. Should we see that? I'm gonna put that in the chat room. Hey, Blueberries! Blueberries out there says, Happy Friday, fellas.
Happy
Welcome.
Friday.
All right, so now we're partway done, right? We got the classes, we got these things right. Okay?
Yeah.
Next, we want a static method. And to do static things with CodeRush, Campbell, you use an uppercase letter. You shift it to uppercase. So if I want a method that's static, I'm just going to uppercase down. Yeah. And if I want something that returns I'll use the class, I'll use this character right here after it.
Oh, okay.
If you do those two together, you're going to get a static method that returns a regex result. So we're going to call this maybe parse. So regex result.parse, maybe we call the method parse regex. It's going to take in a regex string, like that, and then inside of it, it's going to do something inside of here. We want this to be public, and we don't need really a constructor in here. So inside here, we're going to create. We want to create a new regex result, like that, and we'll declare it as a local right there. We wanted that parsing code from over here.
Sorry, when you said in the other script, can I?
Yeah, of course.
When you said call this method, you meant just like name it parse regex, right?
Yeah, I want to call this. Yeah, that's exactly what I meant. Thanks for that question, Campbell. Really good question. I wanted to do this. I wanted to take this, grab this code over here. Oops, wrong screen on display. Thanks so much, Blueberries. Thanks so much. You got it now.
Can we just show them what
So let's you show them what I just did.
So, we added a public static method of type regex result, or it returns a regex result. We named it parse regex, and we wrote just this code.
Created a new instance of this class that we're in. Whatever this class is, I'm not sure what we're going to call this thing yet. But I think regex result is, not bad. And maybe I want to rename this to just parse. Or create from, maybe create. I like create as a good name too. Yeah, that's good. I like that. And so we're going to create this and we're going to return it at the end. Like that. We're going to do that. I wanted to take the parsing code we've already got, which is essentially this line of code, and then this for each right here below it. And then actually even almost all of this. We need a version of this is what we need. And so what we need is, we create that, we're going to do this. We need to also get a regex creation in here. This regex is a field we created at the beginning. Let's go find that. Hitting F12. And it's just this right here. And I think somewhere right here, we create a new version of it. Like that. All right, so we'll come in and we're going to say this. We're going to, got a lot of stuff here using system text regular expressions. Come over here, we're going to declare this as a local. Oops, whatever it's trying to bring up. Like that. And this is going to be the string we're parsing. And wait, is that Roland? That's not right. This is our pattern. Our pattern we need to put in here too. So here I'm going to put our pattern in, and I'm going to grab that bit of that regex pattern that we created over here. But you know what? I don't care about that actually. I'm just going to put in anything here. You know, we could do. We'll just do a simple pattern for a number. And followed by a /d with one or more. Okay, you with me on that?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so there's our pattern. So we're going to get our result. Our regex we're initializing to the pattern. Then we're going to check to see if it matches the string that we're passing in. We don't need this anymore. That's garbage. We don't need that. We've got group name. Is group name a number? We don't actually.
Why?
What'd you say, Camel?
Why is it saying everything is wrong?
Oh, because we're in a new class.
Oh.
That's just not out there. What I want to do instead of this is I want to go. I think I want to do something like this. I want the next line of code to be this. Vector name. Sorry, hold on. Regex result, this is what we're returning. I want this line of code to look like this. This dot vector name equals get value, and I want to pass in my matches to it. I want to pass in, I want it to be a generic method. So a vector name is a string.
Why did you only put quotes on one side?
I'm not done yet. That's kind of where I'm at here. So we're going to call a method called getValue, telling it I want a string back, passing in matches, and then passing in vector names. Like that. That's what the line of code I want. And then I want that to duplicate down here for delta x. But now I want the type to be a double. And it's going to match delta x. And then I want the same thing for delta y. I can right click this and I can say, hey, stop replacing delta with vector in this. Like that. And then duplicate one more time, and then replace for delta z. And then now we just got to declare get value.
Yeah.
And get value.
Would it be a method because it has? Oh yes, it would be because it has the angle brackets, but then it also has the.
Yeah, exactly. Now I'm just noticing here, cannot be posted like type string to double. Oh wait. Get value. Oh, sorry. Needs to return a t. So whatever type we pass in, it returns that type. That's what we're looking for.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And so now I'm able to say I want to get value and I want it to be a double or an int or whatever it's going to be. Okay. So this is the bulk of the code we're going to create. We're going to create this, We're going to create this, and we're going to add to every one of these, we're going to add this getValue method to every single one that we're going to call. And now for here, we need to iterate through and find the collection with that name in it, with the group name. The group name is there. It's in the groups. And so what we're going to do is go through all the matches, find the group name, and then what it is, wherever it is, we're going to try and convert it to the type we're looking for. Is what we're going to try to do. So, we're going to go through all the matches, and we're going to say, if this group name up the wrong thing in the clipboard. If group name equals, let's change this to group name. If the group name is equal to that, then we want to now see if we can convert it to the right T, whatever that T is. I almost want to, I'm not really sure what the code looks like here. I almost want to do it while I'm running. But I think the code looks like this. Can I do this? If T is, can I do an is on this? I'm just not sure if I can or not. I think I need to do, hold on. Let's try this. Let's first,
Sorry.
is, that's not going to work. Going to be type of T. Bless you. Type of T dot what's my problem here? Which is never provided any type. User expression is never provided any type. Yeah, I think they're right. So I need to, well, of course they're right. So I think it's going to be something like this. If name is equal to int, like that. Then I'm going to say if int dot try parse match dot groups of I dot value out into an int called result. So now if I can parse that out into a result, then I can now return that result. Right there. I think. Can I implicitly convert type T to, I want to change this. Maybe do this. Will that work? Does that work? Nope. I think as ever, it's not a class or constraint. Yeah, it's not a class. How do I get it to an int?
Could you try casting it as an int?
I just did, and it's failed. The problem is I'm moving from classes to essentially box types. I'm primitive types like an int, and so I'm trying to create a very generic one. Oh, interesting. Coding Gorilla's got an idea. Coding Gorilla says, so if I come in and type in CI here, it gives me that. And I type in CO, it gives me that. Whoops. Or CO gives me that instead of cast to an object. Interesting. Uh-oh. Hold on. Okay. What's happening? It's really, okay, there we go. Like this. So that's that. Well, oh, sorry, T here. Like that. That's
So why are you casting it as a T and then as an object?
Well, I'm actually casting it as an object first. So this is going to be, so basically when we see this, the file is going to say do this first. Right?
Cast it as an object.
The reason why is because here, it doesn't
Oh,
like it.
can you
can't
only
take
cast objects to a T?
Yeah, you can only cast such an object to a T. But I think this is going to work. So we got that piece right there. So that is step 1. And then that gets us out of there. Step 2 is going to look like this. Is it equal to a double? There might be a better, smarter way to do this. Maybe the smarter way is to do this. G dot. I think I want to do the same kind of thing. Where I say type of T. Equal to that type of double. I mean, yeah, I like that way better. So now I don't have this kind of thing here. And I think you can use the pattern matching with the switch statement depending on your C# version. Oh yeah. And I forget how to do that. It's been a while since I've looked at pattern matching or done it. You're talking about the switch statement on the earlier line of code over here. Is that right? Or are you talking about converting this using switch statement here? Give me an example of what you're talking about, Cody Rella, because I'm not exactly sure. So now we're at this point where we're saying, okay, so now if it's a double, I'm going to now come in here and say double try parse and get the double result out, and then return it like that. But we might go a little over Kimball said, and mine too, I think, right there. Yeah, so I don't want to throw too much. Go ahead, Campbell. Tell me what you're saying, thinking right now.
What exactly does casting it as a T do?
So now what that means is now when I say, hey, I want to get a double back, it'll be assignable directly into my double right up here. Okay? And then at this point, if we're completely failing all of this, if all of that fails, we're just going to simply return the value. Now let me simplify this a bit because it's getting a little hairy. So what we're going to do, we're going to simply return the value as the requested type T. And we might have to do the same trick that we did before where we cast it to an object first and then the T to do it. That's what we're going to do. And then down here, if we fail and we don't find it all, we're going to simply return the defaulted T. Okay, let me clean this up just a bit and then I'll answer any questions you've got. I'm going to first clean up, I'm going to introduce a logo for all of these. We just call it value. And then notice we have this similar piece here and this similar piece here. We're basically saying, hey look, is the type an int or is the type a double? Because we're going to handle both of those. You could simplify it and say, you know what, any number is just a double. Why don't we do that?
So do you know the throw, I think, new non-implemented, you know when you first create a method, it has that line of code in it. I think it's like throw new non-implemented something. Do you ever use that in code at all? That line of code or no?
Yeah, you could actually do that in code. Yeah, it's like, I think I've got a TN is throw new exception. And I think you're talking about the not implemented exception, right?
Yes.
I almost never use that in code. You know what, I think I'm going to close down the live show. I am suspecting
It's
slowing us down, and I got access to your machine anyway. So not implemented exception, like that.
Yes. So you almost never use that, but when would be a time that you do use it?
Well, it's just when you haven't implemented the method and you want, like, it's really for methods that return value. So if I type in MD here to get a method that returns a value, I can come in here and say, throw some sort of exception. If I do T, anything like that. Just hold on, let's get back to where we were. We're going to do some responsive issues here. It's slow to respond. It doesn't do live share. So we got rid of it. So what this can do, even though I'm never returning a Boolean here, it can allow me to compile and run. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mystic Soda says it's kind of like a dev's, or sorry, the Blueberry said it's kind of like a dev's to-do reminder. Yeah. So, okay, so here we go. Let's, yeah, it's again really slow. What is going on? All right, let's do this. If we see another slowdown on here, I think I'm going to restart Visual Studio. Ooh. Oh, look at that. He brought this up when I hit save, even though it was already, or maybe not, maybe I didn't hit save, I'm not sure.
Maybe you just did Control-Shift.
So this is what the class would look like for our one regex expression. It would look like this. I think this code will work, but I don't know for sure. We should probably test it, is what we should do. Okay?
How?
And, what'd you say?
How would we test it?
Well, let's do this. Let's change this to delta x, like that. Let's put a comma, make this delta y, put a comma, and make this delta z, okay, for now. What's going to happen is when we generate the code, our regex pattern will go in the code. Let's do this too, since we want this to be, we don't want to have to do a lot of changing of slashes to double slashes. I'm going to put an @ symbol in front of here to get rid of my double slashes. Turn them into single slashes. That way we can just take the pattern that they type in and put it in the code. So to test this now, I'm going to get rid of vector name here. We'll get rid of vector name up here. We just have delta x, y, and z. And what we're going to do is we're going to do a test. We're going to put this over in here. And we're going to say, hey, new regex result, like this. Like that. And then we're going to say, or no, we're not going to do that. We're going to use that method we created called regex.create. And we're going to pass in 1, 2, 3. Right? We're going to then declare that as a local, and then we're going to come down here, we're going to say, hey, if regex result dot delta x equals 1, and then I'm going to take that, I'm going to duplicate that, change this to delta y, and that's going to become a 2, duplicate that, and delta c is equal to 3. So if that's the case, then we're good. We are good. Okay, that's our test. Let's set a breakpoint right here and step through the code. Can you run it? See if it works?
Yes, I can.
See, what's cool about this is we're now able to take 1, 2, 3 and turn it into a class that's got all of those pieces in it. So just add F10 for each line. Remember?
Uh-huh.
F10 again. Ooh. Too many parens. Oh yeah. I didn't duplicate the right parts. Let's change that. See it? And
yes.
Let's come back up here. Can we do that? Can we come back up here and try again with that change? Okay, so let's stop and restart. Try again. Run again.
Start. F10. F10.
Ooh, we got a false. What's up next? 0 to all 0 at that. 0 and 0. Let's go back up here and let's step into it and see what's wrong with our code. Because we want to have good code before we build a code generator, right? We don't want our code generator building bad code. So do we get a match? What's in matches? It's 0. We got no match with 1, 2, 3. Oh, because of spaces. We don't have spaces in here. I'm going to change that right there. Let's see if I can.
I think it's backslash S. Right? Or
yeah.
can you just
oh
use space?
no, I think this will match too. I think we tried that. Now let's see if we got matches. We got one match. Sweet. Okay, cool. And then we're going to do this, this, and this. Look at that. 1, 2, and 3. See it?
Yeah.
So we just took a string and we now assigned it to the right spots because of the regex pattern. This is so beautiful. Okay, that's awesome. Hold on. Why is there a kid on my screen? Chips F Gaming asked that. Why is there a kid on my screen? Kimmel, is he talking about me?
I think he is.
Yeah, well, sometimes I get to hang out with Campbell when he's writing code. That's what's happening.
I have a question.
Go.
Is there a way to change the color of this?
I'm not sure if there is or not. Tell me about that. Is that hard for you to read?
No, it's not. It's not. It is kind of, but it's also just. It feels like it's an error. It's kind of the same problem with
Yeah.
the string.
So the
that
red means it's changed. So it's trying to get your attention. On that.
Okay.
Mystic Soda says not implemented exception can be used for when you want to tell a user that this specific feature is not implemented yet, meaning it's coming in the near future most likely. Okay. I guess you could do that too. Genius Kid or something. He's talking about me again. He's not talking about you. Don't get too excited. All right. This is excellent news. The excellent news is that this works well. I want to do one small change over here. I want to get rid of ints. I don't care about int anymore. I'm just going to work with doubles or strings.
Yeah.
Because, it's just a lot. So now we've just got two different types that we understand.
And even if we don't have any decimals, if we don't have any decimal points or even numbers after the decimal point, it still is a double. Right?
Yes, exactly. What language is this? Chips is asking. This is C#.
And right now we're kind of working a little bit in XAML.
Yeah, XAML and RegEx. We're working with regular expressions. So all of that. We're creating something that's going to be a C# code generator, but we might make it flexible enough to generate all kinds of code in different languages. I mean, all kinds of, to be able to, and what's cool about the code is the usability on it. If we look over here, if I want to parse this into delta X, delta Y with any kind of set of numbers, I just use our tool. We create the generated code, which is going to look something like this. And then we've got a sweet class that we can call. The only thing I don't like about it, Campbell, is this method right here would be in every instance we create. That's the only downside. Is that we would be duplicating a lot of code all over the place.
And then it would slow down.
Yeah, well, it'd be better to put this in its own separate class and call it, which maybe we'll do. We'll create a class called RegEx-Helper here. Maybe we'll actually generate two classes. RegEx-Helper is here. And RegEx-Helper is going to be a static class. We'll never create an instance of it. It's going to have this one method in here called getValue, and we'll make it public. Okay? And then now, when we call getValue down here, this code will change to look like this. Okay? And now what's cool about that is now this class is super simple. And if somebody uses our tool to create a bunch of these simple classes, they can just delete this part of it and all the others. They don't need those.
Okay.
Does that make sense? It may have been hard to follow all that with the exploding fireworks.
A little bit.
Yeah? So basically, I'm just trying to make things a little simpler. So now our code gen is going to give us this class, the RegEx-Helper class, and the RegEx-Result class, right here. And this will be really named in some cool way.
Won't that just slow it down more? If we have
Don't ever worry about that. Don't ever worry about speed until speed's a problem. This is the #1 rule of performance optimization, right? If speed's a problem, your biggest thing that you want to do, the biggest thing you want to worry about is readability of the code. You want the code to be easy to read and understand.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Mystic Soda's like, what is going on? Shirley, take your synchronized swimming out, your synchronized droning out to another chat room, please.
Trash.
Uh-oh. Aww.
Scribosaurus in the room. Scribosaurus in the house, kids. I don't know why you just did that. Okay, so here's what's going to change. Let's talk about the pieces that are going to change. This piece will always be the same. That class will always be the same every time we generate it. I'm going to take this, copy this to the clipboard. All right, I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to create a new string for this. And I can put it up at the top, I guess. No, you know what? Let's create a new class called our code generator. I love it. Code generator. Like that. And inside this class, let me move it to its own file. And inside here, I'm going to put that string as a constant. So I'm going to say new string, and I'm going to call it the helper method, like this. And then I'm going to put an at symbol on this and paste. And an at symbol will allow me to actually have strings inside of here. Can we ignore this? No, I don't know. I just want to ignore it. Okay, so see that? I've just got the code in there. Are you with me, Camel?
Yeah.
All right, I pasted the whole thing. That's one giant string. The at symbol lets me put inters inside of my string from here to here. Okay, so cool. I got the helper method in there. Cool. I got this class called code generator. Let's come in over here, not here, sorry, here, and let's create a new instance of the code generator over here. Create a new variable called code generator, like that. Let's set it equal to a new code generator. And this example says when speed resources matter, you have to throw away a bit of readability, I think. That might be happening, absolutely. But the rule is don't go after speed issues until you're actually seeing speed issues. All right, so we're creating a new instance of code generator. Then down here, when we get the results, right here after this, I want to come in and I want to say, hey, code generator dot generate code, I think. And I think I want to pass it yeah, I think I want to pass it the matches, the match. Maybe the matches. We assume we're going to only get one match out of that group right there. Generate code, and I want to set that equal. I want to assign that to our text box we dropped down there called CodeGen. So when I say CodeGen.text is equal to that. I want to call generate code. Let's deploy that method. Generate code. It's going to return a string. Right now, I'm just going to have it return my helper method. Right now. Return helper method. Let's run it and see what it looks like. Okay?
Okay.
Field errors. What do we got?
Oh, we remember we turned everything to doubles except for that.
Yeah. So let's change the switch since it's a little simpler. I'm just going to say if type is equal to double. Well, you know what? I think I got a coders for factoring for this. Right here. That's here. Switch to conditional. There you go. That's the conditional equivalent of that. Right there. That's what I'm trying to get to. So type is equal to double. Return that. Okay. No, but inline is 10. That temporary error, put it right in there. Okay. This is a little bit better. Let's run it. See if that works.
Okay.
Oh, we're in breakpoint? We don't need this code anymore. Let's delete that code. Do you know how to clear and set breakpoints, Campbell?
Yeah, we just tap them, right?
Yeah, click on that. And then we'll hit run with step 5. Click the blue button at the top. Okay, so now let's get our pattern in. Let's get our long pattern in.
Okay. Vector long.
Type in something in text to text that matches, like 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3. Wait, oopsies.
All right.
Whoa.
And then maximize it. Cool.
Why is
We've
it
got-
showing us all of the code?
Why?
It's not showing it to us, it's right.
I want it to write code for us so we can just copy it and paste it into our other app. See what I'm getting at?
Yeah.
It's code generator. So I don't like the extra tabs in front of each line. I'm going to get rid of that. But we're getting close. right?
Super close.
We're getting close. All right, so let's go back over to our code generator. I'm going to delete one tab from the beginning of every line. 1, 2, yeah, 1 there, 1. In fact, we should select all of this all the way down to here and just hit delete once. It looks like I lost. Okay. There we go. Oh, no, did I? No, that's all right. Okay, cool. So now we've got that. That's not bad. What we need though to do is we need to use matches to figure out what the named pieces are, what their types are. Okay? So we need a little bit of refactoring over here. We need to go to get type string, get property type. We need get property type to take this out of here. And I'm going to move this over to my code generator. I'm going to drop a marker here because this is where we're using it from. I'm going to go to my code generator. And maybe I'm going to actually create another class here. And I'm going to call this, I don't know, my eval helper. It's going to help me with evaluating things. My eval helper. I'm going to make it a static class as well. I'm never going to create an instance of it. I'm going to put this method in here, put the word static in front of it, make it public. That. We need to go find property type and bring it over here. That's what we need to do. It was right nearby where we were. There. We're going to take that, get out of there, and we're going to put it, we're going to put it right up here by itself. Property type is there. Class eval helper is there. It returns get property type. I'm going to move these into their own files. What do you think? What do you think, man?
What am I?
Too much?
Yeah,
Is it hard to follow? Because I kind of go fast sometimes. Tell me what you think. Do you want me to slow down? Do you want to be okay if I keep going fast?
But why did we have to move them to their own file?
We don't, but it makes it easier, right? If we want to look up, find eval helper, there's not a whole bunch of other stuff. Look at the screen right now, Campbell. There's not a whole bunch of other stuff blocking it, making it hard to read. Eval helper has one method in it called get property type. That's what's going on there. Why did I put code generator in its own file? Because I want to just group things together logically. Also, look over here. I got code generator, I got eval helper, right? Easy to find these pieces. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So, I want to come back over here, and there's a problem here. We introduced this problem. This property type doesn't work anymore because I pulled the method out. Do you have any ideas how I can make that work?
Well,
It's a static method now on something called eval helper.
So if
it's here, it's on eval helper. But here, it says it doesn't exist in the current context. We need to qualify it. And the way you can qualify is by typing in the name of the class it's in when we're calling a static method.
Okay. Wait.
And the class it's in is eval helper. So all you have to do is type in eval helper and then you got it. And you'll qualify. Try it.
Okay. I'm not sure. Oh! Right, because if it's in another class, then we can't access.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
So I've moved it from here to the other one. Before we didn't need to qualify it. If you type in control space here, it should suggest eval helper to you, I think. There you go, and then it's done. Perfect. Now we should be able to run and it should work exactly the same. Try a quick run on it after that refactoring.
Oops. That's not what I wanted. Control S. Good.
So the quick test is to bring in our pattern, type in one, get a match for it, and make sure that the generated code, we still see it. Can you do that real quickly for me?
Yes. So
Bring in our pattern.
vector long.
There you go. Give me a 1, 2, 3.
1, 2.
It's faster to enter one space, isn't it? We might want to change pattern. And we see some code generated. Okay? Satisfies that it's all still working.
Yeah.
Next, we need to add the second part of the code. The second part of the code is this class here. I love how small this is, by the way. Right? I love this. It's going to have properties of one or two types, either doubles or strings. Okay?
Yeah.
So we need to create some properties, and for each property, for each named group we get back, right, when we're running this, see the named groups, X, Y, and Z, we need to create a property for each one of those. I think I'm going to drop the font size of this down a bit, just so that we can see more coming on screen.
Okay.
I'm going to change this to 14. Save that. Better. Okay, cool. We can see more. So it's going to go for the delta X, the delta Y, the delta Z. It needs to create this other class that's going to look like this. But for whatever named groups we have, we're going to build these, and the types we're going to get based on the values we've matched. So if it's a number, we'll call it a double, and if it's not, we'll call it a string. Okay? For the named pieces, which means if I were to type in A equals 1, 2, 3, I'm going to get a new property down here called vector name, and it's going to be a string.
Ah, okay.
Okay? And if I set this, if I do this and I continue in our syntax for vectors, I'm going to get a new, I still don't have it yet, right? We're only generating this helper, but I'm going to now get, the other pieces, the X, Y, and Z as well. So I'm going to get a class with all those properties in it. The cool thing about this, Campbell, is it's a small class, but it's now easy to access the properties given a complex string. You pass in a complex string. So, what are the parts that are changing? I'm going to put a little plus in a comment next to it on everything that's going to change, right? That we have to generate. Everything that doesn't have a plus, we don't have to deal with. It'll always be the same. Those are the parts that change. Notice the pattern. Here are the parts that change: delta X, delta Y, delta Z. That matches this: delta X, delta Y, delta Z. So for every property we create, we're going to need to also have a line that assigns it, right? Also, this one is special. There's only one of these, but that's our actual pattern. That's the pattern that shows up here. See it?
Yeah. Wait, how did...
There's no how yet. We're going to take the text from here, pass it to the generator. The generator will generate this line of code. You with me?
Yes.
Okay, so let's start by just creating the class part of it here. Regex result and the end of the class. We're just going to start with that part. I just want to create just that to there. You with me on that?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to just create that. So I'm going to copy that to the clipboard. We're going to stop the app from running. We're going to go to our code generator, and we're going to create another constant. We're going to create a constant here, type string, so I'm going to type in, and I want it to be, static. So we're going to type in QS. Actually, I maybe don't need to be static here. So we're going to call this class start, maybe. And I'm going to prefix it with the @ symbol. Whoops. The @ symbol, and I'm going to paste. And I'm going to get rid of that opening tab. All right? You with me? There's my class start.
Yes.
My class end is going to look like just the end of the class, which is it's just that, I think. It might be an enter and then that. I'm not sure. It's one of the two. Okay? Now I've got class end and class start. Now what I can do, instead of returning helper method, let's...
Oh wait, we might want to scroll this up so that it's seen.
Okay, thanks. Good job, Campbell. What I want to do here is, let's create a variable called result. And I'm going to start by setting it equal to this. And then I want to say result, I'm going to say plus equals the helper method, like that. Then I'm going to say result plus equals class start. And then I'm going to say result plus equals class end. And then I'm going to say return result. Are you with me so far?
Yes, I'm with you.
Okay, let's run it. And now let's look at it. Now we should see two classes. Wait, actually, I want to change it. Okay, no, go ahead.
What?
I just want to change the order. I want to put the R class first and the helper method last. All right,
Okay.
run it now. I just didn't run it. So give us our test again. You got it. Basically, the test is in named pattern, I think. Yeah, we don't have that option
We
yet.
don't.
You want to
thought we
add it,
did.
don't you? It's so much faster to type it in.
So much.
All
I thought we
now,
totally did.
now look at our class. Regex result,
Yeah.
and then we go, look at the problem. Can you see it? Our class is starting here, but we really need an extra character at the end of it. And this is kind of embedded too far. We're close. Let's do this. Let's take our class start. Go into that. Yeah, just I got rid of that. And let's maybe add an enter on here. And then let's also add one more end there. Enter there. Maybe another one. Okay, let's run it again. Get the test going. Take a look at this. And drag it off to the side because you've got some drones covering up. There you go.
So if we do vector long, can we change the pattern actually right now so that the commas are optional?
Yeah, we can.
Actually, wait, first
The comma's right here. Here's the comma right here. Whoops, sorry. Hold on.
Oops.
The comma's right there.
Yeah, we can make it optional. Here, wait, can I?
Can we work on in the code and do this?
Yeah,
We're always doing
that's
this
what I
in the
was
code.
thinking.
Yeah, it's over mainwindow.xaml.cs, I think.
It is.
It's going to be a long string, whatever it is. We might generate the string. Hold on, go down. I think we generate the string. I think we scroll down.
we do.
Yeah, oh, there it is. You just saw it. You kind of found it, I think.
I did.
Exactly. If you go down, it's right here, I think. The commas are here. See the commas? Let's do
Yes.
this. Let me just do this for you. I'm going to come in here.
We should do it with question marks, right? So that it's 0.
Yeah, but let's also, I want to be smart about this. I want to create a new string called digit. I'm just going to call it comma. That's what I'm going to do. Like this. And comma, I'm going to define as a regular expression. We're going to make it be one of a couple things. It can be this or a space. Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
Cool. So now that I've got comma declared as that, everywhere I see a comma here, I'm going to replace it. This is an interpolated string that generates the regex pattern. I'm going to replace it with that. And now I don't have to, now I can kind of see what's going on, and I can edit this and change this later if I want to. We're just going to keep going through, finding the commas in the separating the numbers. Oh yeah, that's a vector string, sweet. And that's all we have to do. I think that's it, Campbell. We just have those two commas, right? Because that's vector string, and we're replacing the word stir vector. What's happening when we pass it in, make vector is passing in stir vector once here and then another one there. So this is what builds our massive pattern for matching vectors. So now try it. Try the vector long and try putting in the spaces.
Vector long.
1 space 2 space 3.
1 space 2 space 3.
Sweet. Now we got a faster way to write it. So
Woohoo!
now look at our code, right? Our code looks good.
So wait, can I just try?
Right, we've got two classes that are built, the regex helper and the regex result. You with me?
Yes, I'm with you.
All right, next step. Let's see what the next step is. We're going to, in the code generator, let's come over to this, and we're going to say, okay, what's the next thing we want to build? We could iterate through and get these, if you want, or we could build this method. I say we get these. Let's iterate through and build these properties next. So what's a property look like? It's going to have the word public in front of it, it's going to have the name of the property, it's going to have the type, and it's going to have this get set at the end. So I'm going to copy that to the clipboard. We're going to come over to our code generator, and I think I'm going to do this. I'm going to take this, I'm going to extract this to its own method. And, oops, I need to work with matches. I'll do that in a second. So let me put this comment in here. This is what we're looking to build, right? We want to do that for each match that we found. Well, look at the code that we're already looking at, we already have. Iterate through the matches. It's this code. Right here. That's what we want to do. Got some flowers. Campbell, can you not get allergic to those, please?
can try.
You better try. Okay, so we're going to go through all of these. If the group name is a number, I want to use that here too. So I'm going to pop that over. I want group name a number over an eval helper. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump to symbol, grab it, cut it to the clipboard. And you know what? Look at this other one here. Group is no value. I'm taking both of those. They both look useful to me. They're both static methods. Bring it over to eval helper, pop them in here, change them from private to public. They need match to be passed in. I think I'm okay with that. I'm going to use regular questions for now to do that. Look at all those flowers grow. Okay, and then let's go back find our bugs. Got some bugs we just introduced. This is now an eval helper. Similarly, there, get type string. Did I move that over there? Let's get type string. Oh, no, wait, that's over here. That's where I am. Hold on. Number. Let's move that. So just collecting those two pieces there, fixing those. Back over here in the code we did. So this is our generator right here. We're iterating through trying to find the names, anything that's named. All right, so do we need to specify the group name? Yes, we do. So we're going to say, we're going to declare group name here. And if the group has no value, we're going to continue. Get type string, we don't want, but we do want, it's an eval helper, we want get property type. And we want to pass in the value.
What is get property? Oh, okay. But what is it going to do?
That's going to return, get property type is going to return one of two values. It's going to return either that it's of type double or it's of type string.
Okay.
Okay? That's what it's going to do. And that's our property type right there. So we're going through, we're skipping anything that's a number, no group names that are numbers, and if the group has no value, we're skipping it. And then we're going to come down and we're going to go grab the type of it. And we're going to say, okay, now that we've got the type, we want to now add something that looks like this. Right? So I want to do something like this. I want to say, hey, look, result plus equals. And I want to say it's equal to an interpolated string. And I want to put the word public first. So can you write the word public for me right there?
Yep. So public.
Yep. Space. Then we need the type string. So what I'm going to do is do an interpolated piece. I'm going to call this typester right here. And I'm going to declare this as a string right above us. And I think I'm going to go into eval helper here. I'm going to call get property type string. Like this, passing in the type. So we create a new method here in eval helper. What I love about declare method is that you can declare in other classes. Right? So what do you think this is going to do when I hit enter on declare method?
Well, it's going to write a method of type, wait.
Yeah, it's going to declare a method.
What parameters will it have?
Well, it's going to figure out from type that the first parameter needs to be a type property type. Right? Because based on what I've got here, it's going to figure it out. And it's going to know the return type should be a string. So I'm going to declare that method. Also notice we're in code generator here. Mm-hmm. When I declare it, we're going to move over into eval helper. So watch. Control dot, declare method. Why don't you do it? You hit control dot and then enter.
Control dot. Enter.
Control dot to bring up the menu. choose declare method. Oh,
I did.
Oh, you may have chosen the Visual Studio one. The Coders one, we'll jump right into it.
Sorry.
No worries. So now we're here. There's the throw not implemented exception. We wanted to implement it. What I want to do is I want to just do a switch statement here, I think, or maybe something like this. The type is equal to property type dot double. I want to return a string, and what is the string I want to return? I'll give you a big hint. It's that. I want to return that word.
A double.
I want to return the word double.
Double, or the word, sorry.
Yes. And then otherwise, I know I want to return something else. What am I going to return here?
String, right?
Exactly. Perfect. So now we've got this cool little function, it's small, but it's going to give us a type string. Now we've got the word public type string. Oh, look, this public's got to be lowercase. Okay?
Oh, sorry.
All right, now, what's the next thing we need? What?
Next
How do
thing
we
we
get that?
need is...
I'm going to start typing and it's going to be like, hang on, look at me, he's protecting
Oh.
the drones. I can't get to it. What do you think it is? What do you think is going to go here?
Is it, x1 minus x2? Or is it...
No,
But we don't have those.
it's not. The name of the group, which is delta x or whatever it is going to be in this variable here. It's the name property of groups. So we just need this right here. Then we need this bit of code.
Good set.
Since that's the same everywhere, I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to add it to the end like this.
Yeah. Okay.
And then I'm going to add on to the end of that. I'm going to add an ENL or environment new line. And that's it. Let's run it and see if we're getting the properties in. Give me a quick test. Look. Look what we got.
We got it.
See? It's not bad. It's not quite where I want it. I want this down on its own line. I want it indented by a tab.
We have it.
But it's not bad. So let's go back to where we were. So this is add properties, is what this is. So let's do this. Well, let's fix it a little bit. We want a tab at the beginning, so backslash tab should give us a tab. So backslash T, I mean, like that. And we need to, our class start, I think needs to go longer. It needs one more enter at the end of it like that. Next, I want to make this, I want to refactor this so it's easier to read. So I'm going to take that extract method and call this add properties. Like that. Let's do a quick run and test on that. Should be absolutely no different at all. Right? Vector long, give me 1, 2, 3, or 1, 6, 2, 3. KidzCode looks better. Better.
Woo!
See it?
Yeah.
Right? It's good. Cool. Next we need, let's go over to this piece right here. We need this method. Which I'm going to copy to the clipboard. Okay? We're going to go back over to our code generator. And we're going to declare some strings for this. So we'll type in QS right here, and the string. I'm going to call this, what's the method called? Here, hold on, let's get this in the clipboard. It's called the create method. So I'm going to call this the create method start. Like that. The create method start is I'm going to do the same thing. What's the character I do if I want to put inters inside my strings? What's the character I use?
It's interpolated string, right? Or it's a money sign.
I'm not making an interpolated string. I'm making a string that can take enter keys in it. So
Well, then is it, it's the at symbol, right?
it's really like I'm saying goodbye. I can't watch on a 1080p resolution. The buffering is awful. That's not good. I'm sorry about that. Sorry, what did you just say, Campbell? I was just saying goodbye just really good.
It's the at symbol, right?
Right, it's the add symbol. So we're going to put an add symbol right here. And we're going to just paste all that in. Like that. You probably don't need it. We can take take away both of those tabs right there. Oh no, wait, this one is going to have a tab at the beginning of it. Stick a tab right there, sweet, and a tab right there. Cool. All right, so there's create method start, and we'll have something similar to this called create method end. And now let's build that. Okay, so we're going to come down here. So we, after adding properties, we're going to say, oops, this was supposed to be result.
Oh.
Is it plus equals? Hold on. Oh, I return it at the end. I see what's happening. No, that's okay. Passing the result. Okay, that's okay. All right. So down here, we're going to say result plus equals create method start, and then result plus equals create method end. Let's run that and see how that looks. What did I call it? Oh, something different. Ah.
Oh. I know.
Missing the. Okay, got it. Good start for you. All right, give me a pattern. Okay, so here's what it's done. See it? It's given me this to here. We need an extra line separating them, and we need to indent this ending by a tab. Also, I want to do this. See that? I'm copying that to the clipboard. Let's close down. I'm going to go to main window XAML on here. I'm going to go find that. I'm just going to paste it in there. I'm tired of choosing from the menu every time to do the test. So let's do that. Where are you, RegEx-Pattern? There you are, right there. So let's paste you in right there. There's a problem. Can't do it there. I wonder if I can do it here. The problem is that the RegEx-Pattern contains brackets, which are special characters. I'm going to try this instead. I'll paste it here. That's also got problems in it. I think I have to escape all of these. Okay, so we're not going to do this. Let me undo both of those instead of pasting them in, because that's not going to work. Instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my here, and in my initialize component, I'm going to throw it at it here. So I'm going to type in tbx regexpattern.text equals, and now I'm going to give it that string literal like that. Okay, and then I'm also going to do the other one. I'm going to type in tbx. Pay attention because I'm about to ask you a question.
Yes. tbx.
Text. That's our test text. What are we going to set that equal to?
You're going to set that equal to, well, a literal string, and then, or no, wait, you don't even have to do it as a literal string, just one space, 2 space 3.
Perfect. Now let's do our test.
And now it should automatically just work.
Perfect. So now we can test faster.
faster.
That's our whole goal here. Coding Gorilla says you can put it in the XAML. You can see that it's HTML encoded. Yeah, they get things like, I'll pop this up on screen right here so you can see this too, Campbell. The angle brackets get replaced with ampersand LT, which means less than, and ampersand GT, which means greater than. So it's, yeah, but it's a mess, and I was like, let's just get this in faster. So we need to add a line at the beginning. We need to get this indented back so that one matches here, and we have this extra line there. So let's go look at our code generator. Make those changes, see if we can remember all of those. This end needs a tab in front of it. The class end doesn't need an enter at the end of it there, and I think we're good with that too. If we save, we do a quick run and test, we should see that those changes now lined up with the way we want. There we go. Yeah. And still need an enter right here. Okay?
But still.
And actually, I am going to go back to the extra enter there. We need an enter after we do the method end. Or no, wait. Yeah, it's before the create method start. So we need to go into create method start, and we need to add enter right here. And we need a tab there. All right, save it, run it, see if that now looks good. Good.
Yes.
Now in the right spot. Next we need that constant declaration. So going back over here, that's this line of code right here. And to be fair, this is all the same, with the exception of the piece in the middle. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go ahead. We'll just do this. We'll just work on this line only. We're just trying to get this. So we're going to do that. We're going to come in here and we're going to say in our code generator, our next piece in the declaring the method here is we want to say result plus equals something that looks like this. And then this is going to be replaced with the pattern, whatever it is, followed by that, followed by that, and that. So this ends the string. This is the pattern. The pattern is now something I want to add to here. So our call to generate code is missing something important. We need to come in here and say add parameter. We want to pass in the pattern, which is actually declared in another place. Well, it's this right there. You see that?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So what I want to do then is I want to let's pass it in here. So we come here and say add parameter. I'm going to paste in that, and then we're going to call this pattern. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So now I've got the pattern coming in. Let's run it. So hit F5, and let's see if we see it. Okay, not bad. Oops.
We might want to maximize.
Yeah, not bad. Okay, so we're close. This needs to be indented. A couple tabs to bring this out, but that's it right there. And that looks like it's going to work for most patterns. If the pattern has a quote in it, we do need to escape it first, so I'm not going to worry about that. Because most patterns the patterns we're using with don't have quotes. Okay. So we need to get a couple tabs in there. Do you remember what that is to get a tab in it?
It's just, wait. No, I don't.
It's \T. Go ahead and enter 2 of those for me. \T. Save and run. F5 is your shortcut to run.
Is there a way to, what's it called? To have like a literal interpolated string?
I don't think so. I'm not an expert in it, Campbell. I think you're kind of looking for either literal, you're either going to do one of the two. You kind of build it a couple different ways, but there's not that I'm aware of to do that. Okay, so now we've got our constant in there.
Oh, wait. Sorry. I just got an idea.
Sure, go ahead.
For kind of doing a literal interpolated string. So if you take the parts that you need to be literal and you assign them to a literal string, and you make a variable called literal string or something, then in the interpolated string, you would add you would put that variable in every day.
Yeah, I'm not sure that would work or not, but that is definitely something to consider. So this is, by the way, this is not wrapping. It's going all the way over, so we can't see the end. But that is, that's what's going on there. So I trust that that's working, that that's ending correctly. So we've got that. We've just got a couple more lines to do, and we're done. Come back over here. We've done that. We now need to add this chunk in. Easy to do, right? Easy to do. So let's go do that. Up here, we're going to create a new string for it. Type in, do you remember what I type in to get a constant that's a type string?
I don't think so.
QS.
QS.
Q for constants, S for string. Do it. Call this create body 1? Yeah, create body. I think indicating it's the body of the create method. That's kind of the name I've got. It's not a great one, but hit enter. Make it a literal string and then paste in what is in the clipboard, on the clipboard inside that string. So you need quotes still.
Oopsies, wait. And then paste.
Yeah,
Not what I
inside the
wanted.
string, inside the quotes, paste. Okay, so we got a couple tabs there, and a line. It looks good. Maybe one more line in there. And there it is. 1, 2, 3. I think we only need 2 in these. We'll delete one of the tabs there. And now we've got our create body. That's going to go after our constant. So we're going to say results plus equals create body. Let's run it.
Gonna have to end
Ooh,
soon.
something's missing. You know what's missing? The problem is?
Yeah?
The part
No,
that's
or
missing is
I don't know, but.
it's at the end of this line. It's way out here we can't see it.
Oh.
If we were to change this here, you can say, if we were to change this to just /d, there you can see, we need an extra line right there to make the left character turn. So we needed to put that at the end of here, so we just type in,
Tennis 7, where are you? We need your help! Oh, not alright. Here, White House.
Then I could acting lessons, and it's been paying off. All right, welcome to Tennis 7 in the house. So I just added an extra line there. Yeah, so now let's run it. And there it is, it's fixed. Okay? So now we have this code. You cool with that?
Yeah?
Okay. Now the last thing we need is something that works just like this did. We need it right down at the bottom. So we need a method that's kind of similar to the method that we use to add the properties. So there's our method to add the properties right there. I guess I could just duplicate it and call it add initialization. Okay? Down here, instead of doing this, we're going to do something different. We have the type and we have the group name, right? We're going to need a different string down here. It's going to look just like one of these right here. I'll just copy that to clipboard right there. And let's come back down and show you what it looks like. It looks like this here. Can you try to figure out how to change this string so it generates code that looks like this? And I'll call attention to two things. See that? And see that? That's your group name. And see that? That's your type string. Instead of declaring a property, I want this code to declare an assignment that looks just like that comment down there below in green, using the interpolated string. So what I'm suggesting, just to be clear, I'm suggesting changing this yellow text here.
So that it's, yeah.
Yeah, in the position of these other parts that are in here as well. That's kind of what I'm suggesting. In fact, let's get you started with, let's do only this. So now you've got something a little easier. Just work with this and see if you can give me something that looks like that at the bottom.
Well,
Lock that door. Don't let Mom in. She's going to be coming in trying to stop us. Lock the door. Lock it. Don't say nobody knew about this chickens. Go, Cameron. You got
Lock
no
the
time.
door.
She's good. She's in.
We don't lock the door from the mother.
I don't know what you're talking about. Nobody was going to lock the
pay
door.
attention to the time.
Campbell Frank, I can't Campbell!
Campbell Franklin.
We're almost done. We got it. We've been working so hard just to get to this moment. We can't take it from us.
Just do
What
this
do you
one.
got?
But he says Karen is here.
Look how handsome
Oh, no.
Campbell is. That's ridiculous.
She was talking to me, Campbell.
Result.
You can't check your what?
Huh?
What are you doing? What do you got?
Huh. Do I have to, I think it, yeah,
That's good. That's perfect.
dot, nope. Okay. And then here we have to do, group name.
Beautiful.
And then,
Lunaboat 2 is now following. Thanks for that follow, Lunaboat. Caesarian is out there, laughing out loud. Laughing out loud. Yeah. Honey, you can.
She had just photobombed. Look,
Did she
do
vote mom?
it. Do it to you.
Okay, guys, we got like this is a professional show.
so,
That's perfect so far. I love that. Everything to the left is perfect. Okay, that was Karen. That's not me. Okay, you just. Oh my God, the punishment. Okay, so what's going on here? You can copy what's down below too if you want.
oops,
You don't have to type that in all the way.
helper, dot, oops, get, value, and then, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Is type string, it doesn't include the angle brackets or
It does
no?
not.
It doesn't.
It just has the word double on it.
Oops. So, boop. And then matches. Comma. And that's it, I think. Or wait. For group name, it doesn't include the quotation.
That's right, it does not. Good job. Also, you're in interpolated string, so you end the interpolated string with a quote. So how do you get that as a literal quote?
Where is it at?
Nope,
No.
it's escape. You have to escape it. So what character do we use to escape?
Oops. No. I don't know.
It's a backslash.
Where? Here?
Right in front of it, yeah. Watch what happens to it. The color should change a little bit. Just like we have the backslash in front of the T at the beginning of the tab. So then we've done that one. What about the one to the right of that? The group name? Right near the right edge of the screen. Just to the right of group name. Yeah, right there.
We need some. Wait.
See what's happening? It's thinking you've ended a string here and then started a new one. Because see the quote at the end of group name?
Yeah.
That needs to be escaped. Because you want that to be a literal quote. Right?
Okay.
We want to match this part down here, right? We're matching those. Okay, now what do we do? You got this. You haven't done that yet?
Oopsies. And then after that, semicolon.
Nope. It's after the paren. See it? Oops, my
Oh,
bad.
it is.
Yeah.
Oh, I did not realize they were.
Bless you. Okay, cool. You can get rid of that space if you want. You don't need that extra space at the end. There's one problem.
What's the problem?
See that? I'm going to change it to that. This needs to be regex helper.
Oh, what did it say before? What was it?
It said RegEx helper.
Oops.
And I think that was pretty good. I think there's a shot of that working. Want to try it?
Sure.
Hit run. Hit run. Oh, wait. Add initialization. We're not calling it. See how it's dark right here?
Yeah.
KidzCode also has my section. section. I don't know what you mean by that. So I'm like the right KidzCode. You are. All right, so we need a line of code that's like this, but instead does add initialization. And now, but we want to put it after our create body. We want it there. So run it now. I'm going to hit run. Let's take a look at it. What do we got? Code look right? You got an extra space right here. But it looks right. What if we give a name to it? What if we say A equals? Do we get result.vector name? Look what happened. See this?
Yeah.
We get a new property called vector name, right? And we get a new call here. These all need to be indented. They're not matching this level.
Okay.
And I think we want an extra space in front of them.
But?
So let's fix that and let's get rid of the space here. Can we do those two things?
Okay.
And then we'll do one last test. And, hold on, let me close that down. Sorry, go ahead. Your mouse, you got it. So we need a new tab at the beginning of this line, and we need to get rid of that space in the middle.
Here?
Mm-hmm. Tab there?
Like that or no?
No.
It's a backslash. Oh!
Yeah, it's a backslash because hit undo. There you go.
T.
It's a backslash T. There you go. Perfect. And then get rid of that space in the middle.
Here?
No.
No.
There's a space right. I'll show you where it is.
Oh,
right
I
there.
see it.
Right here.
Ah.
This one. Can we get it?
Nope, not yet.
Save that, and then we wanted to
Wait,
see.
there's another space.
No, I think it was good in the generated code.
No.
It's all good. It's all good.
There was one problem. I think.
No, it looks good to me. I think it's all good. Let me jump up to, before we call add initialization, whoops, I want to just add one space between whatever the create body in it, and just one extra line. So I'm just going to come in here and just get enter there. And let's run that real quickly. And now type in A equals 1, 2, 3, and watch the code change. See, we just got a new vector name because it's using the vector name from here, knows it's a string. Now do this. Give me the full thing. Give me the full declaration for a, yeah, there you go, for a vector using our syntax. And now look at the class we built, right? See it?
Yes.
It's really, really cool. Now what we can do is we can simply call RegEx-Result.create
Yes.
on it, and we'll now get back a class that has properties vector name, x, y, z, delta x, delta y, delta z, right? Passing in whatever pattern we want, right? And we'll be able to get all those numbers from it simply and easily.
Okay.
Does it make sense? We'll test it for real next time, I think. Is it a good time to end the show?
Yes.
Okay. This is a fast show, Campbell. Thanks for sticking with me to get through all this.
Yeah.
But it'll pay off next time. Next time we'll use this. We'll generate the code, we'll copy it to the clipboard, paste it into our Unity app, test it out. Let's check in our code right now if we can, and while we do that, can you check in the code?
Yes. I think I could.
So just give it a comment, right? What did we do? We built a code generator.
Yes.
And then delete this class, don't stage that one. See the one that says delete this class? Oh wait. No, go ahead and check it in. Check everything in. We'll do that. I'm going to set up a rate right now. Let's see what we're going out out there. I'm going to send you to Clarkio. Wait, let's see. Hold on a second. What's Clarkio doing? Yeah, we'll send you over to Clarkio. Science and tech. Here we go.
Okay.
What did you get? Let me see what you got. We built a code generator for visualizing vectors. I'm going to change this just a little bit. I'm going to change that. It's not so much that it's for visualizing vectors. That's specifically what we want to do for easily getting back RegEx values from complicated strings. From complicated regex patterns. That's what I want to change that to. That's what's really cool about this. This is super useful. Go ahead and check all that in. Stage that and check it in. This is really useful for folks who, for anybody who's got a complicated pattern they need to match. All right, kids, thanks so much for joining us. Thanks thanks to Zosarian. Everybody else who's been with us today, appreciate it all. Campbell, what you say? Thanks to everybody.
Yes, thank you all.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Hold on.
We're gonna do it tomorrow, right? All right, bye.